another carriage company here in town. 8 years ago, we put together a carriage franchise ordinance with the help of Mr. Weaver. I know he worked long and hard on that, as did the rest of us who were in business at that time, to make sure that it was all T's crossed, I's dotted, and so forth, make sure it was legal, make sure it was right. He went to law school, I didn't, so I'm assuming he got it right 8 years ago. At this point, I just want to see everybody follow the rules. There's a franchise open and available. It's ready to roll if somebody wants it. Now, I fought long and hard for many years to get the franchises that I have, went by the books, did everything I was supposed to do, jumped every hoop I was supposed to jump through. There again, play by the rules is all I'm asking. It's not about a respecter of persons, it's a respecter of what's on the law books and what needs to be followed there. I thank you for your time, guys. If you have any questions later on, I'll be out in the hall.
Thank you, Tom. Donna Foster. No, she's out there. There she is. Hi, Donna.
Hello.
You need this up a little bit?
Maybe just a little bit.
Go ahead and state your name for us. Okay.
My name is Donna Foster. I live at 287 Spring Street. My husband, Stephen, and I are homeowners, and we use our home as a primary residence. I'm also here as a representative for my neighbors, Charles and Lori Ragsdale at 282 Spring Street, and Jan and Jim Wallace at 276 Spring Street. Both of these neighbors are also homeowners and use their residence as primary residences. We wish to express our deep concern with regards to the legal non-conforming CUP application that I believe is before you by Bob Howell for his investment property at 285 Spring Street. This home simply does not qualify according to the codes that you have in place. We sent you a group letter last week which itemized and identified the city codes and where we felt that we had this right to ask for this to be denied. This house was abandoned by the owners. Once the squatters were removed, foreclosed upon, and then renovated, this home was vacant for far longer than 180 days. So any CUP that Mr. Howell may speak of regarding the Novaks would be totally null and void after the rezoning ordinances that you had in place in 2000. This property is also less than 200 feet from another existing legal non-conforming CUP. Our concerns, and the reason I'm here, it's no way a personal attack on Mr. Howell, but as owners of our primary residences, we are really concerned about the significant safety and financial impact this is going to have on us as well. So we respectfully state, in light of the city code as it stands, please deny the CUP for 285 Spring Street. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Don. Bob Howell. Hello, Bob.
And you promised to tug on your ear when I got to 2.5 minutes, right?
Okay, I'm practicing now.
Well, I don't know. Not much has changed. Mrs. Foster and the other neighbors apparently have not read Ordinance 2142 that you're considering. The list of, I don't know, about a dozen properties, mine included at 285 Spring, vote on these to be legally non-conforming properties as they have been multi-dwelling properties for long standing. I find it very interesting that the Fosters, the Ragsdales, and the Wallaces are not talking to you about 275 Spring Street, which is on this list, which is directly across the street, as 3 units, and 269 Spring Street, that's a little further down, that's 6 units. CUP, we're not talking CUP. We're not talking CUP at all. So I'm sorry, CUP doesn't even come into this. There have been some specious arguments made about, well, it used to be a bad house and felony level misdemeanors and going on. And I did a Freedom of Information Act request from 2007 to 2009 with the Eureka Police Department, and I only came up with 2 reports. Cost me a total of 40 cents to get copies of those. So someone may have called to complain, but there wasn't that much response. Right now, all 3 units are rented. We've had no trouble with the neighbors. I have great tenants in there, and I would just request that you keep me on the list, understand what you're voting for, and go ahead and pass Ordinance 2142. Thank you. You didn't thank you.
No questions. Margie Anderson. Hi, Margie. Come up and state your name and microphone, please.
I'm Margie Anderson, and I think I contacted most of you by telephone prior to the meeting, or attempted to. My question for council, because I am here on behalf of police and fire, also parks, my question for you is, have any of you spoken with Earl Hyatt or someone at the police department about what budget cuts would do to that department? Have any of the 6 of you done that? You have, Butch? Okay, then I'll direct my questions to you. These are my concerns. Will we still have 24/7 protection of the downtown businesses? Will we still have someone to answer the telephone after 5 o'clock at night? Will we still have police officers at our elementary and middle schools? If I'm going too fast, Butch. I know we have a new high school under construction, so I'm very concerned. I'm sure we'll need a full-time officer there next year. And right now we have experienced officers, so if we let them go, then we're going to have to rehire anyway. I have had a business downtown for 22 years. I've never had a break-in. I've never had any vandalism. And I think it speaks for a good police department. I may be, inexperienced in judging this, but I would say with no problems in 22 years that that's a pretty good judge of what our PD's doing. I understand that you may be cutting budget for fire. And if you do that, is this going to jeopardize our ambulance contract that we have for the Western District? If we cut budget for fire, will we be able to cover the Western District? That's another question. I don't know if anybody's spoken with Reese. I've stopped by there on several occasions. It's my understanding that you're considering outsourcing a job to take care of our finances or pay our bills or whatever it is. Jobs need to stay in Eureka Springs. I do not feel we need to outsource any jobs. Surely there's someone here who's qualified enough to be hired, and possibly it's an unemployed person.
You have about 14 seconds.
Okay.
Thank you.
Last thing is Parks is doing a great job. I've been on the Parks Commission in the past. Don't change them to a department. It will just muck up the water. They're doing a great job. Please leave them alone.
Thank you, Margie.
Thank
Any
you
questions?
very much.
Okay.
Thank you. Do y'all have any questions for me before I leave?
No.
No?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
so much.
All right, that'll be it on public comments. All right, Ms. Armstrong, I'm sorry, Madam Clerk, as she wished to be addressed. You are up for the aerial photo demo.
Okay. Do you want to give them background on what the purpose is?
Yes, y'all should have I'm hoping a document in your paperwork that talks about the discussion clerk had with Miss Joanne Harris at the assessor's office about aerial photography. Do you have this document? I think everybody got this in the email. You did or did not?
Did you send it?
I thought I sent it out to everybody. I know trouble we've been having with our computers sometimes. I wonder if we actually get our stuff. What Ms. Harris is wanting to do is all the cities in Carroll County get together with them to have aerial photography done from a company called Sanborn. Sanborn is an aerial mapping company. We can have it done in 2 different dimension resolutions, one in a 6-inch and one in a 12-inch. And I don't know what the 6-inch scale is, and I don't know what the 12-inch scale is, but this demo that you're about to watch here has a bearing on it. And they want us to match, I believe it was 5,000 to the other cities, 5,000.
Actually, she didn't ask for a specific amount.
Oh, she didn't?
Whatever
Okay.
can be
Okay, I thought that
contributed.
number was mentioned.
But Huntsville
Okay.
did
So
contribute.
I'll let you talk about the conversation you had with her.
The county tax assessor loaned us this.
No.
There's only one image here, and we don't really know what city it is, but the idea is this appears to be one of the 6-inch because the resolution is so much better. And this, let me see if I can do it with my left hand. This is not a system I'm familiar with, but for fire and police, this could be a really effective tool. It's not working.
Okay.
And later on, if Public Works had advanced enough systems, they could inlay water lines and wastewater lines, mark their hydrants, flow rates. So this is primarily a tool for those departments. Mr. Pate was able to tell me how big these buildings were yesterday by looking at the size of the tractor trailers. Okay, I'm not being very technically advanced on this, but it gives you an idea of how close we can get to some of the Google Earth qualities in those plans. What I really wanted to know was, could we combine it with other maps? And it became clear to me that the zoning map, thank you, serves a different purpose, and it would be better if that product were produced by McClellan, and paper, something that's more portable. You wouldn't have to have a very sophisticated program like you would for the use of this map. So that was the main thing I was interested in knowing.
There you go.
That's a pretty amazing resolution.
There's Fred. Oh.
So just the 3 cities would have the 6-inch imagery. And all the county and Leatherwood would have the 12-inch imagery, and that would keep the cost down from the original estimate of $84,000 to $94,000. So whatever the council can contribute would be, whatever the city can contribute to the project would be great.
Any questions? Yes, Bill.
I tried to print out your email, and for some reason it wouldn't print. But it seemed like, did you say that Huntsville was contributing 5,000?
For the Madison County
Right.
map with another company.
I was with another company.
And Ms. Harris is trying to get Carroll Electric to invest, and the Corps of Engineers is not going to be contributing any money to it. So,
Well, speaking, and I just received something today from a surveyor who took an overlay of Eureka Springs and actually put an RNA Armstrong survey over the top of it. So this kind of goes along with what Ms. Blankenship was talking about. of how this map can be incorporated into a survey showing zoning, actually, plus the water and sewer and everything else. I think the East Lab's already documented where the fire hydrants are on the streets. And so I think they have center points of all the streets that also can be overlaid onto this too. So, it's just a fantastic opportunity for us. I know the Planning Commission, and we've been trying to do this for, 5-6 years at least. We've never been able to do it. At one time, I think they wanted $80,000 just to do Eureka Springs general area. So, if we can get into it for $5,000 or something, whoa, it's totally, it's a great tool for the city.
I think it'd benefit us, but it's up to y'all. It's Mr. DeVito.
Well, I'd like to hold back and see what the other cities come up with.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be made now, but
November. They need a money commitment by mid-November. And October 18th, if you want to talk with the fellow from Sanborn, he'll be at the county assessor's office if you want to.
This is from the Sanborn maps?
Yes, the fellow who will be organizing this particular endeavor, if you want to go over and visit with him.
And my point being, Berryville's twice the population of Eureka
Right.
Springs, so I think, we should have a sliding scale based on population as to what we contribute.
so you have the information, so if y'all want to consider it and talk about it or deal with it, we can have a special meeting if that's needed. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I think that's probably a pretty good idea and might be very helpful in many ways. But apparently do they want the commitment or the cash by mid-November?
Monetary commitment.
A monetary commitment. So
They'll fly in December, begin in December.
they'll begin in December. So I know our budget's really tight right now. Would there be a possibility that in the next meeting or two we might commit to donating funds, but the funds wouldn't actually be paid until